Okay, this is video A. We're talking about greatest common factor. This is to help with problems 3, 4, and 5. When we talk about greatest common factor, all we're doing is identifying the biggest number that will go into all numbers involved. So to think about, you have to know your math facts, because you're going to have to know what is the biggest number that goes into all three of those. So in this case, my answer is 6. Because 6 is the biggest number that goes into 12, because 6 times 2 is 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 5 is 30. Okay? But then we start getting into other stuff, like what's the greatest common factor when there are variables involved? So the easiest way to think about it is when there's variables involved, you choose the one that has the smaller exponent. So the greatest common factor here is x squared, because x squared can go into x squared, and x squared can also go into x to the 4th. You can think about it this way. If you have 2 fingers on one hand and 4 fingers, okay, 2 fingers, 4 fingers, you have to take from each hand That's a really stupid thing. Never mind. Just choose the one that has the smaller number. Okay? So, as you go to more complex ones where they have numbers and variables, do your numbers first. So the biggest number that will go into 12, 14, and 8 is going to be 2 is the biggest number there. And then as I look at my variables, I choose the one that has the smallest exponent. So 2x to the 5th is the greatest common factor. It is the biggest number that will go into all three things. If I chose a bigger exponent, then I wouldn't still be able to multiply in to get 14x to the 5th. Last example. When you have more than one variable, like 32x to the 7th, y to the 5th, and 8y to the 3rd, you still do number by number, letter by letter. So I think about the biggest number that will go into 32 and 8. The biggest number is 8. Then I move on to my x's. Now, if one of them has an x and one of them does not, I don't include an x in my greatest common factor. I only include it in my greatest common factor if it appears in all the necessary numbers. So I don't include an x because both of them didn't have it, but I do include the y's because both of them have it. I choose the smaller exponent. So my greatest common factor here is 8y cubed. So there's a recap on GCF. This is video A. Sorry about that stupid finger thing. Enjoy.